Hello guys and welcome to another episode. In today's video, we'll be talking about arguably one of the dangerous exercises out there, the deadlift. So stay tuned for the end of the video and I will tell you exactly how to do a full deadlift and watch all the tips that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching this video, team. My name is Samir Katab and I'm on a mission to help as many people to lift and train heavy while staying safe at the gym. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the deadlift, and I have broken it down into a few different ideas and I've written some notes down, and that will help me to help you get the most out of this video. So let's get into it. Firstly, it is important to address that the deadlift, it's a hip hinge movement, which means that we are trying to activate the posterior chain of the body, meaning that we can sort of use the hips, your hamstrings, and sometimes your lower back, and that's okay. And usually I personally do it when I do my back day. And actually when I was doing it, I kind of hurt my left shoulder. And then when I went back onto my channel and I watched some of the videos that I made, the first two videos that I've ever made on these videos were actually to rehab the shoulders, and I'm still doing the same exercises today. And I feel so much better. So if you have a shoulder pain, check those videos out. They're really helpful. So now we know that it is a hip hinge movement. We also need to talk about all the different types of a deadlift. So obviously you have your conventional deadlift, you have your sumo deadlift, you have your snatch grip deadlift, you have your deficit deadlift. But for today's content, we're just focusing on the main one, the conventional deadlift. Starting with the setup of the lift. So with the setup, usually starting from the floor up. So the way I would like to set it up is by standing with your feet at shoulder width apart. And a lot of the time I see a lot of people with their feet a bit wider than their base of support. A nice way to know that you're right under the bar, jump a few times on the spot and then land on the floor. And that will be the most power generation position for you. And that will be the position that you want to start your lift with. Now that you have your feet in position, the bar will be just over the shoelace that you have. If you have your shoelace, it's just going to be right over the top of that. And from there, what you're going to do is you're going to send your hips back. So I'll have a video right here for you. And you can see how I am sort of sending my hips back rather than squatting right down. A lot of the time you see people squatting down to pick up the bar, but that's not what we're trying to do. So send your hips back. As you send your hips back, reach forward with your arms, keeping your arms loose, and then try to touch the bar. If you can't touch the bar at that point, then you squat down enough just to touch the bar and then wrap your hands around that bar. Now from there, once we've done that setup, we need to engage your lats. The way you would like to do it is by turning the arms. So again, if you're watching this video, I know it's not the best angle, but as you can see in here, as I turn my arms, what that will do, that will allow me to squeeze my upper back, because we're trying to have your spine in a neutral and a rigid position by engaging your lats, your erector spinae, and your core muscle as well. So as you squeeze those arms back and down, you are trying to engage your lats. And also you need to think about your shoulder blades and bring them to your back pocket. So as you squeeze your shoulder blades back and down. Now that you got your feet positioned right, you got the bar positioned right, your hands are on the bar, you engage your lat. Only at that point, what you will do is you start descending with your hips. So start sending your hips down. As you're sending your hips down, you're pushing your knees backward as well. So allowing that force to generate. You will feel quite a lot of tension in the posterior chain, so your hamstrings and your glutes. And at that point, you will take the slack off the bar. So essentially the weight at this stage is resting on the floor and the bar is sitting on top of the bar, the bar is sitting on top of the weight, if that makes sense. So what we need at that point, as you're putting tension through your legs, to put tension through the bar as well, and allowing that weight to transfer from the floor onto the bar, and you hear a little click sound, and that means that the weight is now on the bar, and only then you'll be able to lift and stand up in a nice and tall position. And now as you do that, repeat multiple times and see how I'm trying to keep my back straight. So you can see here, my back is straight throughout the movement. A bit of rounding in the back is not bad, but if it was consistent. So if you started with a round back, keep your back rounded the entire time. But if you started with a straight back, you need to keep your back straight. Now that you took that weight off and you can do a few repetitions, now slowly start increasing the weight. And as you increase the weight, try to record yourself from a side angle, just so you can actually have a look at your back and make sure that you keep a straight back. I remember the first video that I've made for myself, I thought my back was straight, but when I looked at it, I knew that my back is not straight. And again, if you need help critiquing your technique, you can always send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm more than happy to help you out and tell you if you're doing it correctly or you're not. I hope that answered a lot of your questions, team. Really looking forward to hear back from you and see your transformation. If you have any question, don't hesitate to leave it in the comment below. And if you like that video, please give it a thumb up, and I will see you in the next episode.